Yes, team, welcome to another mindset session. So, today we're going to talk about the topics of running, the topics of life, and the topics of cold showers. Now, right now, you may be feeling like running an ultra marathon is too much. You might feel that running a marathon is too much. You may feel that running a half marathon is too much. A 10K, you might even be feeling that running 3 miles, which is one lap of Rother Valley, is too much. But every single one of you who is watching this video right now, every single one of you, unless you want to tell yourself some ludicrous reason about why it's different for you, can either walk or run a mile. And if you can walk or run a mile today, then you can walk or run a mile every single day. And we often forget this. And I want to refer you back to, drop me a yes either on the YouTube replay, in the comments on Zoom, or the comments on Facebook if you're watching on replay. Drop me in fact, comment Marcus so I know if you went back and watched the training with myself and Marcus. So we have this thing. We will say, I can't run 30 miles. I can't run 3 miles, but I can run a mile. And if I can run a mile, I can run a mile every day. And this is what he reminded himself of. He does a story when he's like pretty much every bone in his body was shattered. Like that's why I got a little bit emotional watching it when I watched it back. Because he was in a bad way, as he said in the podcast, Holly, his wife, they didn't even really dare say what had happened. They just said, you need to pack a bag and you're probably not going to be leaving hospital for a while. And if you go back to the part of the story, his collarbone was shattered, his scapula was shattered, and he started doing this in the hospital bed. And then he started doing this. And I can't remember exactly, but I think he said it was taking him about 3 minutes to turn his hand over. And Holly was like, what the hell are you doing? And he was like, I'm starting training. She's like, what do you mean you're starting training, you nutter? It's like, well, if I can just do this today, then I might be able to do a bit more tomorrow. And it's such a great story and it's so poignant. And this is such a big reminder that we need to remind ourselves of. That if you can run or walk for 1 mile today, then you can run or walk for 1 mile every single day. And the only person that is stopping you doing that is you. Because you're weak. And I'm sorry if that hits home and it makes you feel like you've been attacked. But every single person can walk for 1 mile every day. There may be 1 or 2 people at certain points, Jan, Stephen, anyone with a broken leg or a broken ankle, or who has had major surgery like Marcus or myself, that might not have been able to. So I'm obviously talking people within some form of normal health and physical health. But you can every day, tomorrow, the day after, 365 days of the year. Just like every single person could have done 31 minutes of cardio in January, but many of you chose not to and are now frustrated with the lack of progress, frustrated with the lack of weight loss, frustrated full stop. But the reality is you didn't do the work. You didn't track the food. You didn't do the cardio. You haven't watched the mindset sessions. You haven't been accountable. So remind yourself that whatever you can do it, but you need to do it daily. And if you're weak, if you're at rock bottom, if everything so far this year has been a total failure, good, because that's where the strength is built. That's the place that's the foundation. That's where we come back from. That's the point when we say enough is enough. I'm sick of my own rubbish. I'm sick of my own lies. I'm sick of my own excuses. I'm sick of my own poor, weak decisions. I'm sick of my own lack of discipline. So again, start to pull some discipline tests in. What could you do today to become more disciplined? What are you currently doing that you can try and stop for 7 days? Here's a massive one, right? Who can stop watching TV for 7 days? Do you know I didn't watch TV once for 18 months? Probably something I should go back to. Have you got the discipline to not watch TV for 7 days? If not, I would put forward you have very little discipline at all. It's not a big thing. Do you have the discipline to not snack between meals each and every day? If not, I'd put forward you have very little discipline. Do you have the discipline to get up half an hour earlier every single day? If not, I'd put forward you have very little discipline. Because if you can get up half an hour earlier tomorrow, just like if you can run 1 mile tomorrow, you can run 1 mile every day. And you can get up half an hour earlier every day. And you can practice gratitude every day. And you can send an appreciation message every day. And another great example of this is how we can remind ourselves is the cold shower. Anybody can jump in a cold shower once. Anyone can do Lake Bottomere once. Anyone can do a cold plunge or an ice bath once. But can you do it over and over again? The amount of people that come into my world via inquiring to work with me because they're fat, lonely, depressed, overweight, anxious, stressed, stuck in a rut, at rock bottom, who will say, Lee, I would do anything to feel better. Okay, let's start with getting up an hour earlier, journaling and having a cold shower for 60 seconds. Them cold showers not for me. I'm already too, absolutely no way I can get up half an hour earlier. I'm already too busy. Nah, journaling, calorie counting, not for me. So again, as soon as we present 4 things to them that are tough, that they need to do daily, they can't do them because they don't have discipline, because they're weak. And again, I'm sorry if that triggers you, but if you can't get up half an hour earlier every day, you are weak. So well done on becoming aware of the fact that you have poor discipline and you are currently mentally weak. Because guess what? When you know that, you can work on it. Now, here's the thing. That's the crackers thing, right? I do anything to feel better. Right, we're going to start with a 30-second cold shower every day. I'm not doing that. You must be mad. So they're not willing to dedicate 30 seconds of their day to doing something that is ultimately going to make them feel better, and going for a walk for 1 hour per day, which is going to make them feel physically and mentally better. 2 small things. Cover your kids' ears. I'm sorry, but 30 seconds in a fucking shower and walking for 1 mile and you can't do it, but you'd do anything to feel better, anything to move forward, anything to have a happier, healthier life. You're full of shit. That's the most full of shit comment I've ever heard in my life. I'll do anything to feel better, but I won't go for a walk for 1 mile each day. Remember, you guys at Mindset Mastery, I had to go through this journey. I looked myself straight in the mirror and I said, Lee Freeman, you are a liar. And that was the first day that I really started to move forwards. So let's go back to this 30 seconds a day. Forcefully making myself not to crack some form of sexual joke about 30 seconds. I am still human. So yes, there are huge benefits to yes, there are huge health benefits to 30 seconds in the shower. Yes, there are huge physical and health and mental benefits to 30 seconds in the shower and to a 1 mile walk. But that's not what it's about for me. That's not why it's important to me. The reason why it's important to me, because my daily run, my daily getting up earlier, and my daily cold shower are a reminder to me that I can do tough things. And I can't just do tough things on days when I feel like it. I can do tough things every day because I am tough. And I understand that tough situations build tough people. Tough circumstances build tough people. And I cannot become tougher and stronger and more resilient without going through situations on a daily basis that force me to become tougher, stronger, and more resilient. And this is why tough situations build tough people, which is why you have to stop avoiding tough. Stop avoiding discomfort. If you can't have a cold shower for 30 days, you're saying, I don't want to do anything. The truth is, what you are saying is, I would do anything to look and feel better and have a happier life mentally and physically. What's actually happening is you are saying, I would do anything that doesn't make me feel uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form, isn't tough, isn't hard, and essentially isn't different from anything that I'm already doing. That's what I'm willing to do in order to feel better, i.e., sweet FA, which is why people stay the same. Because whatever they're not changing, they are choosing. Now, as I said, we can't just do these tough things once. We need to establish this mental toughness and this resilience through daily consistency. Consistency is earned. Confidence is earned. Discipline is earned. Respect is earned. Respect takes years to earn and can be lost in seconds. That's why it's so powerful. But anything that I want in life, I understand has to be earned consistently. I cannot just do the work on days when I feel like it. I can't stop doing the work when I'm rejected. So every time I run and every time I have a cold shower, there is a point just like there is for you guys. And I experienced that 10K on, when did I do 10K? On Wednesday, Rother Valley. Was horrific. It was raining, it was wet. Obviously, if it's raining, it's going to be wet. Full of puddles, windy, cold, tired, under time constraints because I had to get Logan from school. And it was horrible, especially after protecting the chest. I'd had almost 12 weeks, I think, off of running outside. Trust me, when you go from a treadmill to all of a sudden wind, rain, wet, different terrain, it's very, 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 very different. Okay, all of a sudden you've got all the elements to battle as well. So it was tough. And within 2 minutes of setting off, I wanted to stop. No, do another month inside, Lee, do another month inside. I could feel my chest going. I could feel myself going back to old habits, stopping breathing through my nose where the metal plates are, starting to breathe through my mouth. You're going to get a sore throat. You're going to get a cough. You're going to make yourself ill. Go back to the card. No one gives a fuck. No one's even watching. Delete that reel. Go to the gym. Do your 10K tonight. Same thing as when, do you think I just jump in a cold shower and go, woohoo, I am Wim Hof? No. The first 5, 10, 15, 30, 35, 45 seconds every day I want to get out. Every day. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Because I've got integrity, that's why. And I'm not going to sit here and preach and not do what I say. So every time I want out, every time I do tough things, my body tells me to quit. This is called alarm reaction. I can't go on. It's too tough. It's too much. It's easier to quit, but I've spoken about this time and time again. Those of you that are on the verge of quitting now, and I know how it feels. 17 people have quit already this year. I had to work that out today. Major business problems. That's a hell of a lot of income on the upper level plan. You guys know what you pay per month. That is not a small amount of money. So again, just quickly, stop trying to build the big business. Go back to PT. Stop the events. Stop the videography. Stop the reels. Stop everything. Remove everything. Shrink it down. Go back to easy. No. Because that's not how life works. Challenge happens. Tough situations happen. I have to find a way out of this now. To find a way to find new people, new experiences, new clients, new marketing techniques, new lead generations. Or I can just, what's the opposite? What's the other option? Run back to the JOB, go back to working on doors, go back to running nightclubs, fall back into old habits, look for an easy option. Nothing great is ever going to be easy. And it's the same with exercise. It's the same with fat loss. It's the same with mental health. So I remember on the 103-mile run, from mile 70 onwards, trust me, Levi, Big Sean, and everyone else who joined later on will vouch for this. I was in an extreme amount of pain. I tore my LCL on the 53rd mile, we estimate. That's why I had to kind of walk from 53 to 60, allow it to recover, took way too much codeine, ate too much food, bunged myself up, was like Lord Trumpet trousers going round, needed a poo more than anything in the world, couldn't go, mentally gone, physically gone, was in absolute agony. And I rang Nat in tears in the 70th mile. And she just got up. I think it was 4:15, 4:30. And she said, babe, you've got 30 miles to go. Like it was like nothing. But think of the mindset. She's like, well, you've run like loads of marathons. You've only got a marathon plus 4 miles to go. You've only got 30 miles to go. I thought you were going to say you were miles further back than that. Like, you can do this. I'm thinking, she on fucking drugs? Like, is she woken up properly? It's 30 miles. She went, yeah, it's just 10 laps. You need to do 10 laps, mate. That's it. You can do it. And I remember almost putting the phone down on her with frustration because I was that annoyed that just 10 laps, just 10 fucking laps. I'm struggling with 10 steps right now, let alone 10 laps. But then I let it sit in my head for a bit. And then Big Sean arrived on a bike at about 5:15. He said, do you need anything? I went, yeah, get to the garage and get me some fucking Haribo now. So off he went on his bike, came back with 2 packets of Haribo. And then Levi turned up. Levi told me to stop eating the Haribo because I needed proper food. No, bro, you need sweet potato. So Sean's like slipping me jelly babies on the slime. Fuck Levi. Even though Levi was technically right, there was 0 point in me just putting sugar in. So anyway, we carried on a bit. And then I started to mentally look at it differently. And this is how I want you to look at life. So I'm like, well, it's not 10 more, it's not 10 more laps. And this will save you in a lot of situations. It's not 10 more laps, it's just one more lap 10 times. How different does that all of a sudden sound? By the way, with the Ultra on the 30th of March, or whatever March it is when you come with us, if any of you can't currently run a mile and you come and do 10 miles, that's a massive win. Like, it's not just about completing the Ultra, it's about doing your best and beating what you have previously done. In fact, Stephen's watching now. The person on the marathon who I gave the greatest respect to didn't complete the full marathon. It was the person that had done more than was thought possible for them over any amount of pain on that day. So don't, again, get your head drilled into. There's some of you that are thinking, like, who sent me an email today? I don't know who you are because my head's gone scatty. I think it was Helen Noble. I've done about 25 check-ins today. What happens if I don't complete the 30 miles in the allotted time frame? Well, you'll probably still do longer and further than you've ever done and be prouder than you possibly could have imagined. So it doesn't matter. There is an 8-hour time cap. As long as you do your best, I do not give a flying FUCK whether you do 1 mile or 30 miles. You do your best, and I'll be with the last person till the end. Unless, like Jan, Julie, and Jess, you can't read a watch and you've already done 4 more miles than you needed to, I'm going to leave you on Rother Valley and fuck off home and get some food. But I'm joking. Anyway, back to the point. 1 more lap 10 times. Not 10 more laps. Not 30 miles. Right, Sean, we just need to get round back to that point. Right, let's go. Right, now all of a sudden we've just got 9 laps to go. 1 more lap 9 times. And that's how I broke it down. And then 8, and then 7, and then 6, and then 3. And then everyone else started to turn up. Gordon came, did 18 miles, I think. And then all of a sudden it's like, I've got 3 more laps to go. And Jason got there. And it's now all of a sudden, how can I mentally switch this 3 more laps? That's less than 10 miles. Only a few hours ago, I was in tears about 30 miles. Now it's less than 10 miles. It's not 10 laps, it's 3 laps. It's not 3 laps, it's 1 lap 3 times. All I need to do is get back to that point 3 times. And then 1 mile from the end, I unleashed every single emotion in my body and completed the 103rd mile in less than 6 minutes. I basically sprinted a mile. I don't know if I was possessed by the devil. I don't know if I'm just a complete psychopath. I remember whispering in my own head that I told Lacey and John that I would leave nothing out there, that I told Jason I would leave nothing out there. So I intended not to leave anything. Deep down, I think I was just fucking glad for it to be over. And I just thought the sooner I can get to that point, the sooner this is done, the sooner I can eat some food and just try and let this process what's happened. But I didn't do the 30 miles in my head. I didn't do the 10. All I did was 1 more mile. All I did was 1 minute in the cold shower. And if you can't do a mile, do half a mile. If you can't do a minute in the cold shower, do 30 seconds. But this is what life is. Now, you might look back at me and say, Lee, 30 miles or 1 mile 30 times is the same thing. And it is, but trust me, when you're struggling, when you're in pain, when you're suffering, when you're at rock bottom, it's a very, very, very different thing. which is why I don't want you to think about losing 30 pounds. You just need to lose 1 pound 30 times. How easier does that sound all of a sudden? I've said this on so many sales calls for Signature Service. Lee, I want to lose 4 pounds. I want to lose 4 stone. Why don't we focus on losing 4 pounds and keeping it off to start with within the first 4 weeks? How does that sound? Oh, that sounds great. That sounds easy. Great. Let's make it easy. Let's stop making things so fucking hard. These guys, these are, and I hope you guys are watching this, these are the best 3 or 4 check-ins this week. Danny Lee's lost 2 stone since she started. Lorraine Walker has lost 10 kg since she started. I won't go through them all, but there's numerous other people that have lost between 20 and 30 pounds already in 6 weeks. Do you know what almost 99% of them said? Weight loss hasn't been that fast. I don't feel like I've progressed that much. So again, the mind is overriding because the person might have 5 stone to lose. They're writing off the fact that they've lost a stone. Rather than thinking, I've lost a stone in 6 weeks. So if I've lost a stone in 6 weeks, I can lose another stone in 6 weeks. Just like if I can run for 1 mile today, I can run for 1 mile tomorrow. Just like if I can cold shower for 30 seconds, I can do it today as well, and tomorrow and the day after. It's not the same thing. We need to break it down. We need to make it easy. And that's why anyone who's going to come and do the ultra, you don't need to think about how many miles an ultra is. You don't need to think about how fast you have to run per lap. All you need to think is you just need to do 1 more lap and I'll be with you. So this is why running is life. Because life is about taking seemingly huge, unachievable things like running 200 miles, building a £1 million business, taking the clients to 250 plus people, holding events that are abroad, losing 4 to 5 stone, healing your mental health after years of trauma. It's about taking seemingly impossible, unachievable things and breaking them down into the simple, manageable tasks that we can do daily to lead ourselves towards it. Like walking or running a mile, journaling, tracking our food, or having 30 seconds or more in the cold shower. That's why running is life. That's why cold showers are life. I love you all. Have an amazing weekend.